Hi, everyone. Welcome to meal kit number 42 for the week of March 3rd to 7th. Hope you guys are keeping well and surviving this latest round of craziness in the pandemic. We're getting there. Spring is coming. We've got a delicious menu for you tonight. So thanks for ordering and thanks for letting us be a part of your special celebration at home. So one of my favorite things that Chef Rich does is barbecue ribs. And we've got some beautiful ones here. So put it on some parchment paper. Make sure that the meaty side is up and put this in the oven 12 minutes before we move to the broil. Hey Google, set an alarm for 12 minutes. And then I'm going to go ahead and get started with the first course. So we've got some lovely basil here. Make sure you get all that good stuff is unstuck in there. Perfect. Then we've got some beautiful cherry tomatoes from local ones from a greenhouse garden in North Gore. And then some beautiful cucumbers. And we've got the olives. And we're going to give that a toss with some olive oil, salt, and pepper. But before we do, so I'm just going to toss it here first. But before we do, we need to sear some halloumi. So why don't we go ahead on that guy. Actually, I'm going to do it here really quick because the ribs are in the oven for a couple minutes, so I've got some time. So I want to get the pan to medium heat. A little canola oil, or in my case, grapeseed oil, because you know that I like that more if you guys have tuned into this in the past. And we're going to sear the halloumi. Halloumi, by the way, if you haven't had it, is a cheese from Cyprus. So it's a Cypriot cheese. And it's a very squeaky cheese. It's almost like a really high-end version of like a poutine cheese because it's got that texture that you can fry it and it doesn't melt into a puddle. I don't know how they do it, but they do. Anyway, so we're going to pan fry it 3 minutes on each side until it's nice and golden brown. And this appetizer, by the way, is going with this beautiful wine, white wine from Spain. It's very exotic. It's almost a little briny. I'm not going to kill the pronunciation of this, but suffice it to say it's a Macabeo grape coming from 40-year-old vines located on a clay limestone soil. The wine is fermented in cool stainless steel and then matured for 12 months on lees in underground concrete vats, resulting in wine that is minerally and lively with good acidity, citrus rather than floral, purity, and delineation. Connor can write anything he wants in here, and I would just read it. It's a nice thing. I'm sure one day he's going to slip in, some curse words or something. But it is tasty, Connor. So thanks for doing that. Okay, our pan is ready. So we take our halloumi right in there. And so while that's going on, we can jump ahead. We're going to need a few spoons. There's a lot of different ingredients to the menus this week in order to make them really special. So looking ahead, we are going to put the yogurt down first. So give that a quick little stir. Put it on the bottom of the plate. Spread it all around so you can see it on the outsides. There we go. And while we're waiting for the halloumi to finish, I want to do a couple shout outs to some of our favorite regular customers. So Carrie, thanks for voting for the last 4 weeks. We're thrilled to have you as a regular customer. Sylvain and Sylvie, Alain, Barbara, Vivian, Lisa and Rob, John M. You guys are terrific. Thanks for being such wonderful supporters of the curated program. All right, we've got a nice little crust going on for the halloumi. All right, next up, the tomatoes, cucumbers, and some olive oil, a generous amount, and same thing with salt and pepper. So the olives are in there, which makes it a little bit salty already, so you don't have to go crazy on the salt, but maybe a little extra pepper. Beautiful colors, because we need some bright, vibrant colors in our lives right now. And you're going to go right on top of the yogurt. Make sure we spread this out well between the two plates. Very Mediterranean feeling tonight. Wouldn't we all like to be in Greece right now? I saw this YouTube meme the other day, or some kind of meme anyway, and it was saying in YouTube or in Instagram, everyone's in Greece right now, and I don't know why that is. You know, you can always find someone that is happier than you or doing cooler things than you, and for some reason they're all in Greece. And that's where this cheese is from. So the halloumi goes right on there. You do not need to keep the oil. Make a little seam there. Perfect. And then top with the croutons. Hopefully it doesn't set off the fire alarm in my house, because it threw a little bit of smoke. And the halloumi is pretty salty as well, so you don't need to add any salt to it. If you want, maybe a little bit of cracked pepper, but that is optional. We're going to leave it out of the description. But this is a good looking dish. So here we are. Our beautiful seared halloumi with the local cherry tomatoes, cucumber, mint yogurt, and croutons. That is going to be delicious. All right, let's get things rolling for our main course. Look at this, only 2 pans tonight. So we've got the ribs all taken care of. Cornbread is going to go in the last 4 minutes. So, hey Google, how much time's left on the timer?
I think you want to check the time till your next alarm.
Yes, I do.
Is that right?
Yes.
You have set an alarm for 6:37 p.m.
That doesn't help me at all. So we're going to break the cornbread for the last 4 minutes. I'm just going to guess. Preheated pan, saute your collard greens in 1 tablespoon of butter. Oh yes, I forgot to bring out the butter. And that's 1 tablespoon per person. So 2 tablespoons in total. You put a little bit extra on there, that's okay, because you got some succotash in here, and the beans soak up the butter really well. I've got this excellent grass-fed butter from New Zealand, and it's going to provide some amazing flavor for the collard greens. Just melt the butter down there, and while that's doing it, let me tell you about the red wine. This one's been a staple of ours for a long time. It's juicy, and you know what? It tastes like barbecue. Thanks, Connor, for hooking this up with this one, and I can pronounce it easily. This is a Lotus Cabernet from California, and we don't see too many California on here because of the exchange rate. It makes it difficult to plug in California wines because they're really expensive based upon the U.S. dollar. But this week it's barbecue, so why not? Let's do it. So the butter's melted. You know what? I'm going to turn this down because the ribs are going to come out in just a couple of minutes. So I'm going to pause this right here. So we cut out a little piece there so you didn't have to watch me hanging around. We're going to get the butter warmed up for our collard greens. My thing works. And then I know the alarm is going to go off in just a second for our ribs. And we're going to take it out of the oven. We're going to do a little basting. This is the important part. So, talking with my chef Rich, I've been doing some social media. Hey Google, off. With a barbecue pitmaster down in North Carolina recently. And so his name is Mike D, and he's got some samples coming up here. So maybe we're going to have some of his awesome barbecue sauce and rubs available in the grocery store soon for you guys. Anyway, so this is a Carolina barbecue sauce that Chef Rich put together. Again, he is a huge barbecue nut. So you just want to do it on the curved portion, put it back in the oven, and we're going to put broil, cancel, broil, start, yes, start. Okay, now the butter is warmed up. So 3 minutes in there for the ribs while they've got their first round of barbecue sauce on top. We're going to pull them out. We're going to douse it again with barbecue sauce. We're going to put it back in. Basically, it provides a little bit of a crust for the barbecue or for the ribs. And it's going to go so well with this Lotus Cabernet, which is really smoky and meaty. While that's happening, let's jump ahead and check out our desserts. So tonight we've got a chocolate peanut butter terrine. And our pastry chef Megan has put this together. And I don't think originally it was going to be chocolate, but we decided to add that to it, and I hope no one minds. Because the peanut butter terrine didn't set completely on its own, so we wanted to do that. So 1 minute on the collard greens, and now the succotash is going to go in there. And 3 minutes on that, medium heat. We don't want to kill it. And then we're going to throw the barbecue sauce in. And you know what I forgot? Don't tell Chef Rich. But the cornbread. We're supposed to warm it up, not on broil. So if you're doing this at home, put it in with the ribs while they're baking for the 12 minutes and not on the broil. I'm going to cheat a little bit because I forgot. And he said it's good to rest the cornbread. Okay, that's good to know. So our succotash, which is corn and beans and peppers, are going to be going on in there. Make sure it's warm enough. So yeah, let's finish dessert while we're here. So we've got the banana jam. It's going to go on top. This looks amazing. Hope you guys don't have peanut allergies. Peanuts are a huge part of Southern food. And then we've got this brown butter crumble, which is going to go over top. Because every good dessert requires a little crunch. And if you got some pieces that are sort of stuck together, just break them up. That looks amazing. All right, there we go. So I need to saute these guys a little bit more. I am going to turn the heat off, as Chef Rich suggests. And then last 3 minutes, we're going to barbecue sauce this again with the Carolina barbecue sauce. For those of you not in the know, and I only learned this recently, Carolina barbecue sauce is a vinegar-based barbecue sauce, so it's got a real tang to it. And if you leave a little bit extra to put on afterwards, that's okay. This is probably my most freewheeling video yet curated by Becta, especially because the cornbread's in there at the time that it's not supposed to be. So when you take it out, I'm going to let it rest because we always take a couple minutes to redistribute 2 plates by 3 people. So it will have the time to rest. Don't worry, Chef Rich. And for dessert, so our chocolate and peanut butter terrine with the banana jam and the brown butter crumble. That looks decadent. Okay, so this is off. Buttermilk dressing goes in there. What an interesting thing. So we'll give this a stir. Buttermilk, collard greens. I keep wanting to turn this on, and I'm not going to. I'm going to follow the chef's recipe. But he does say good amount of salt and pepper in here. Every barbecue dish wants a little bit of spice. Okay, let's see how he wants it plated. Plating the succotash in the middle of the plate, top with the ribs, and serve with the cornbread on the side. So I'm going to start this, but I think I'm probably going to need a spoon to finish it off. We'll see. It's almost creamy like grits. I think we're going to have to make some minor adjustments and send out some more succotash tomorrow. It's a little on the small side, I think. All right. Turn that guy off. The ribs ready to go. Man, this smells great. You guys are in for a treat. A little cornbread on the side. Voila. Said no barbecue chef ever. There are our smoked barbecue ribs with the collard greens, the white bean succotash, and the jalapeno cornbread. I hope you enjoy. Thanks for ordering this week. Thanks for letting us be part of your celebrations at home. Hope to see you again or in the restaurants real soon. Cheers.